Welcome into Two Cares for Pets. I'm Julie Chin with Dr. Jessica Zink from South Tulsa Veterinary Hospital. And today we have such a sweetheart with us. We have Rambo.
This is Rambo. He is an absolute sweetheart. This baby is about 1.5 years old. He is a big old teddy bear.
Yeah.
He is a lover. He is basically only happy if he is getting attention from someone. Mm-hmm. As far as we know, he's good with other dogs. I don't think we know about kitties, but I know that he's great with pretty much everyone he's met thus far. I also don't know that we have a lot of information about kiddos, but based on his current personality, I would think that he's also great with them as well. Yeah. He's very calm. He's very sweet, but he is ready for his home.
I love him. And we hear he travels well as well. And what kind of dog is he?
So he's a little pitty mix. Mm-hmm. Not quite sure, what all his mixes are. He'd be a fun one to do one of those DNA tests on.
Yeah.
But clearly there's a little bit of pity in there. He's got that big old head, but he's just an absolute sweetheart.
He is. He's so beautiful and so warm, too. We've been hugging him all morning long.
He hands them out.
All right, let's talk about our pets while people are checking out Rambo. What are some of the most important basic care things we can do for prolonging our pets' lives? Because once we adopt them, we want them to stick around forever.
Right. I know it. So, the most important kind of basic things that you can do for these babies. Obviously, we know that vaccines are important, and everybody, I think, is pretty on board with that plan. Making sure that they're covered from, communicable diseases, that's critical. And that's a basic care thing that you need to start with as soon as they're puppies. Obviously, avoiding things like parvo and distemper and, all of those things are super important. Obviously, rabies is a huge one. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things that you don't really hear much about, but obviously it's 100% fatal, and it's something that we can avoid very easily. So that's an important one. Some other things that we can do to really improve their longevity and their overall quality of life is going to be weight control. Oh, yeah, big time, especially in these larger breeds. Yeah. Joint disease is unfortunately one of the biggest reasons that we end up having to say goodbye sooner than we expect, because a lot of these babies end up with a lot of hip disease, a lot of arthritis, and every pound that they are overweight really exponentially increases that risk and increases that pain level. And so if we can keep their weight to a minimum, not necessarily underweight, but at a nice healthy weight, then that really improves their overall quality of life. It allows them to exercise and to maintain happy, energetic lives, and that's really important.
And so is that weight control by feeding them the right amount, exercising them regularly, both?
Both, absolutely. It's a combination, just like it is with us. And I think that one of the things that people, don't really think about is that these guys, their stomachs are not the size that we think they are. So, this is a bigger boy. His stomach is really only about this big. And so we're handing out our food to them as little treats here and there. That's a huge amount of calories for them that we don't anticipate. Is it wrong to give them people food? Not necessarily. Okay. But we're talking tiny amounts. That's all that they need. As long as they think they're getting something, that's what counts. And so a little bit for me, a little bit for you, a little bit for me, a little bit for you is not doing anyone any favors in the long run. And it's also training them to expect that. And so the more that they understand that that's what they're going to get, the more hesitant they're going to be to eat their own food. And so you do kind of have to keep that in mind. Another really important thing to maintain and to keep their overall quality of life as high as it can be. And one of the most important diseases that we see every single day with every single exam is going to be poor dental health. Okay. And that's something that I think is very sneaky, because most folks will have patients that come in that have severe periodontal disease, little piano key teeth where you can just wiggle them with your fingers because there's so much tartar, there's so much calculus, there's so much infection, and these babies don't stop eating despite all of that disease. Okay. Is it incredibly painful still? Absolutely. Are they going to show that? Nope. And that's what a lot of people don't really appreciate. They can smell that disease when their pet gets in their face, when they're panting, when they're nearby, when they're getting love. but they don't always appreciate just how painful and impactful that is on their quality of life. So one of the things that you really want to make sure that you're maintaining is their overall dental health.
Okay.
And so if you can do those 3 basic things, you're really going to improve their longevity and their overall quality of life to a huge degree.
Okay, and when you look in eyes like these, you want to keep them around for as long as possible. Oh, look at this lover. So sweet. Again, Dr. Zink, thank you. Great tips today. And of course, this is Rambo, our pet of the week. He's 1.5 years old, a pity mix, pulled from the city shelter and is available through Memphis Street Animal Rescue. Oh, somebody is going to love this guy so much. You can find out more information on our website. We'll see you guys next time.